Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Eagle Eye Podcast. It is episode 70, and we're just 30 more away from 100. I guess that's just kind of our big mark that we're going for. But we got plenty and plenty to talk about today. We have Liga MX come to a close in the regular season, and then, of course, our Águilas del América have made it into the next round of the Liguilla, and we will be facing off against none other than Cruz Azul. So a repeat of the final of the Apertura, and should be interesting to see how the boys cope with this game ahead. We're going to break it down. We're going to preview it. We're going to get you ready for that game all in good time. We're going to break down that 2-0 victory over Veracruz and what went right and also what went wrong for America. But before I get ahead of myself, let me introduce, as always, my co-host, Mr. Christian Rosendo. Christian, how are we?
Doing great. Today was a great day. For anyone that knows me personally, you guys know why. But yeah, just winding down right now. My favorite time of the day of the week, talking about America. So I'm ready.
All right. Well, on the personal note, apparently do not know Christian because I have no idea what's gotten him in such a good mood. We'll have to discuss about that later, I guess, on after the podcast.
I'm pretty sure you have a good idea.
All right. Okay. I actually I don't.
Oh,
I'm
well,
terrible. Well, we'll figure that out as we go along. But as always, everyone's probably wondering where is everyone's favorite cowboy, Dylan. Dylan will be joining us shortly as he is running a little late. He went to a private screen of Detective Pikachu, and he'll be coming in onto the program a little bit later. So
I love Pikachu.
plenty to talk about with once Dylan joins us. What were you gonna say,
Yeah,
Christian?
I said I love Pikachu.
I know. So I mean, our very own Cowboy Dan was able enough to get that sweet invitation to go watch that. Hopefully he comes in and doesn't spoil anything for us.
Yeah, no, I would be very upset.
I think we all would be. We
Hmm.
all definitely would be. Alrighty, Christian, let's jump into this. We got plenty to break down. We got plenty to talk about. We got America against Cruz Azul in the Liguilla. But before we get to that point, we can't ignore the fact that there was a game against Veracruz in which America won 2-0, but I think it's fair to say that they barely made it by that game. And if it wasn't for Marchesin's heroic acts, I don't think we would be in this predicament. I think we'd be talking about a different game and we'd be talking about a way different outcome.
Yeah. 100% agree with you. Especially in that start of the second half, you really saw Veracruz kind of like flip a switch, and they just start going at America, pressuring them, taking shots here and there. And once again, Marchesin doing Marchesin, saving us from another defeat. And I think this is huge for him. Uh, you know, him getting like kind of in that form again, because we people have said that like Martin hasn't been the same like last season, so maybe this game can be a confidence boost for him. But it was great to see him kind of save our butts once again. And you're right, if it weren't for a couple saves here or there, this game could have been completely different.
Yeah, it most definitely could have been completely different. It was a tale of two halves, definitely. And then if I'm reading through the stats, just alone on these numbers, look, shots wise, America had 14, Veracruz had 13. Yet
Correct.
Veracruz had 7 shots on target, while America only had 4. That
Mhm.
alone should be concerning,
That's very concerning.
right? And we'll go into that and we'll talk about that because I think the first half is a different kind of perspective of what America was playing. And then the second half, I think America just got by barely a whisker. And I think the incorporation of Oribe Peralta actually switched the game on its head for America's favor and ultimately led to what was the Nico Castillo goal.
No, yeah.
Alrighty, well, let's not break any more. Let's not waste any more time here, and let's break it all down for our listeners here who are joining us today. Let's talk lineups to begin with. Let's talk lineups. I have it right here for you guys. I usually tell you guys, but for the first time, I'm gonna say it. And obviously, we knew Paolo Aguilar was gonna be absent because of his red card, and we knew because of that there was gonna be quite an adjustment to the lineup, in which I think you predicted almost correctly, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Well, no, I
I
got
mean,
everything, but
there was quite a switch with Mateo Uribe and Ibargüen and Carlos Vargas in that left back spot.
yeah.
So let me break it down to you guys. It was Marchesín in goal, obviously, and had the captain's armband. Something we'll talk about a little bit further because I think a lot of people really like the fact that he had the captain's armband on that night. You had your standard back four. It was George Sanchez on the right, Bruno Valdez, Emmanuel Aguilera, the center back partnership, Carlos Vargas, the left back, which we'll talk about whether or not we thought that was a good incorporation. Renato Ibarra on the right wing, Mateus Uribe on the left wing, Guido Rodriguez and Edson Alvarez, who we'll also talk about, who left the game in injury. And then, of course, your duo partnership up top was Neil Castillo and Roger Martinez, which we'll also talk about whether or not that partnership actually gave fruition to what we wanted to see in this game, which I think left a lot of more questions than answers, if you ask me.
Yeah, 100%.
Alrighty, well, let's break it down into the beginning of the match because right away, America got themselves on the score sheet.
Yeah, it was a great opening goal by Roger Martinez. Something I think we were kind of happy to see. One, for a couple of reasons. One, because it was Roger Martinez, and it's always good to see our striker getting on the board, especially our strikers are known to not score as often. So this is obviously great for him. And also because we got an early goal. This sets the game, this sets the tempo for the whole game, kind of puts us in the driving seat. And therefore should allow us to play our game. But, unfortunately after this goal, nothing much really happens. And that's the concerning part.
That is the concerning part. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this game. And even when we preview the Cruz Azul game, we're going to relay back to this game a lot. Only because this is the last game of the regular season before you make the leap into the Liguilla. And one thing we talked about, consistency is key to going into the Liguilla. And how you get to it is important. And this game was vital for America, not just the way that, they finished in the table, but how well morale was going to be for the team and how pumped up and how well this team was going to look going into the Liga. After the performance they gave against Veracruz, a lot of questions are being drawn, a lot of doubts are being made, and a lot of speculation as to whether or not this team can even make it past the first round is definitely up for debate. I mean, you look at this team, and yes, you get a good early goal, but again, we go back to the same thing, and like you say, Christian, not to sound like a broken record, day week in and week out, but it seems that when it comes to America getting that early goal, whenever they do attain it, it seems that after that, everything just says stay back, relax. You got the lead, no need to push forward. And then you invite the other team to play their game. And I
Yeah.
think that's not necessarily what we've wanted to see. And we've seen America do better in situations like this before. We've seen them grow and continue their attack and continue to pressure. And to some degree, yes, they did this to Veracruz, but with no clinical finishing, with no real intention of actually doing damage. And the fact that there was a lack of creativity when you saw some of these players go forward, when you saw some of these options being presented to America, that it kind of got you frustrated because you knew the opposition in front of you, which again, no disrespect to Veracruz, but the terrible season that they've been having, you should have walked away with at least another 2 goals.
Yeah. And I think that's part of the problem, honestly. I think when America gets that early goal and they kind of realize who they're playing against, I feel like that kind of just set off something in their minds and just said, guys, listen, we're up a goal, we're playing Veracruz. Let's just relax. All right, we got this. Like, I don't know if that's the kind of mentality you want from the team, especially heading into Liguilla. And I don't want to say that was like the reason why we played like we did, but I feel like it has something to do with it because I don't really think America would have let off the gas this hard if it were any other team.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think the players got a bit complacent in when it came to actually seeking for more. I think they saw Veracruz ahead of themselves. They got the early goal. What more could you want, right?
Yeah, exactly. A lot of back and forth too, which I don't know why we would put ourselves in that position when we have the players, we have the squad to kind of run up the score a little bit. And in this game, which kind of was important because, well, thankfully for all the results didn't happen, but a couple goals in other results, that could have influenced the position on our table as well. So the players had to know that. So I don't know why they weren't out for more goals, to be honest.
I think you bring up a good point. Is the fact that the squad that we had in front of us, the players that we had on the pitch, were more than capable of walking away with more than 3 goals out of this matchup. But it seems that we're at a point where we need to start asking more questions and again reassuring ourselves that is this player the right player for America at this point of the season? And I'm looking at one player in specific, Mateo Uribe.
Mateus Uribe, yes, the player of the season, and not in a good way. We thought that last season was, we gave him a look, cut him some slack. All right, whatever. You had whatever. You were going through some things. It's okay. But now it's like Lasura time to bounce back, time to show everyone what you're made of, and you're even worse than what you were last season, and it's concerning. Um, I don't know why Herrera still keeps putting him in the starting 11 when you have someone like Cordova who can probably offer you a little bit more when it comes to consistency and trying to actually give a clear sense of the game plan. I don't know what's going through his head. Maybe he has something cooked up, but I just don't know why he keeps giving Uribe the time of day when clearly he's not taking advantage of it.
And I think even in this game, I think you set him out to fail. You're putting him on the left wing position. Now, granted, not a position that he doesn't know how to play, but it's a position he hasn't played for America in most recent times, and definitely not the position that he feels more comfortable and where he shines at most. You know, I
Yeah,
was surprised that anybody went to start,
yeah. I was surprised too.
but I mean, granted, you thought, okay, well, against if this was going to happen, you would have wanted it to happen against Veracruz, right? And still, I found that Mateo Uribe still found him a way to hide in on the pitch and still see none of the ball, see very little action, and let alone create very little for America going forward. This is a
Hmm.
player who you looked at to start and generate your attacks. This is a player that could easily have defined the game for you in the beginning of the seasons. But now you look at him and you question whether or not he should continue for next season. And like Edgar Hernandez says, I miss Benedetti. I think a lot of Americanistas at this point miss Benedetti because Benedetti had that same spark that Mateo Uribe had at the beginning when he came to America, knowing that he needed to find something and define himself as a player.
Yeah.
So the fact that Mateo Uribe now has actually gone even more down in his play,
Hmm.
begs the question whether or not we can count on him this Liguilla.
Yeah, and wow, saying just the name Benedetti kind of brings me down because that guy was winning you games single handedly. Whenever every time he stepped on the pitch, and it's a little bit sad to think about it, but we can't think about that now because he's not with us unfortunately. So we got to think of what we have, and you raised the question: can Uribe be trusted for Liguilla? At this point, I would say no, but with the injury that Edson Alvarez had against Veracruz, do you have any other choice?
And it's an interesting question that we're gonna have to answer once we preview the Cruz Azul game. Excuse me.
Hmm.
I just realized Veracruz and Cruz Azul both have the word Cruz in
Yes.
them. Funny enough. But when Christian says he's not with us at the anymore, he doesn't mean that Benedetti has passed. He just means
Oh yeah.
because I don't want anyone to take that out of context.
Oh yeah. Please don't.
Um,
He's good. I think he's like
he's good.
he's dancing with Nico Castillo somewhere. I don't know, doing something. They seem like best friends, honestly.
Ah, God, I hope he's not dancing. This guy might just rupture something else
Eh.
in the way that America's players keep falling like flies.
Yeah.
Um, so definitely something that we have to bring up. I'm glad you bring up the Edson Alvarez incident because I think the team morale or the team mentality or at least the way the team was playing completely diminishes after that injury. I
Oh
think
yeah.
I think you see America pushing a little bit more, but once Edson Alvarez leaves the pitch, I feel like just the team just stops in its place.
Yeah, and I guess it really shows you how important Edson Alvarez is to this team, and more importantly, I'm a use Cowboy Dance favorite term. He's the guy of the midfield. The midfield is the most important part, and he was a big piece missing, and I guess that is a good reason why America played the way they did after Edson Alvarez left the pitch.
Yeah, yeah. He was doing a lot too.
Yeah.
Let's face it. He's crucial. And then we'll try to get an injury report on him pretty soon.
Um,
Um,
I'm pretty sure he's out for the Ida, but we'll talk about that later. And he should be good for Sunday.
okay, we'll talk about that a little bit once we get to the Cruz Azul game.
Hmm.
Um, but another player I kind of wanted to stand out, and there's a lot. I mean, we could spend a whole hour just breaking down this game and a couple of players. I don't want to touch the back line. Only in regards to Carlos Vargas, I just want to take a quick second to what were your thoughts on him?
I mean, he was put in a place because Paul Aguilar wasn't there. I mean, it's all
But
right.
what does that say? What does that say that Carlos Vargas is starting ahead of Luis Reyes?
I mean, wow, yeah, you're right. You do raise a good question there. I don't know, maybe because he did a good enough job in the Copa games that Herrera was like, you know what, listen, I'll trust you with this game, so you go
But
ahead
this is
and
a player
start.
that we've criticized all of the Copa tournament. I think
You're
we even
right.
criticized him a little bit during the final, not give him somewhat of a praise, but it's a player that we consistently. Um, oh my gosh, Cowboy Dan has just entered the building and made me completely forget what I was going to say.
Yeah,
But it's
but
a player that we consistently
mhm,
have criticized time and time again.
but that's
But I will say this. I will say this. He had himself a pretty decent game.
he had a decent game, yes. Like I was
Um,
saying though, but I think that speaks bad of Luis Reyes. You have a player that's heavily criticized starting over you when that's you're supposed to be in that position. So you know what does it say about Luis Reyes? Does he not have Herrera's trust? Is he not good enough to be a starting for America? It's concerning for Luis Reyes, especially talking about his future at this club.
Yeah, definitely. But we won't go into too much. I think the back line did not have a good game, though. I will say this. Because when Veracruz started attacking, Emmanuel Aguilera and Bruno Valdez looked like they were completely looking like chickens without their heads on, scrambling to get into different positions. George Sanchez, I believe, had a fairly well game. There was a couple of times where I felt he got a bit caught flat-footed. Maybe I had a little bit of nuances where he could have gotten rid of the ball differently or different passes, but I will say this though: at least our fullbacks had a much solid game than our center backs. I will say that much.
Yeah,
Um, and then
I
we'll
mean,
talk about the second half where I think Veracruz completely dominated America.
yeah, I think it also has to do something with the fact that Jorge Sanchez was playing right back, and this whole thing he's playing left back. So like maybe he forgot like kind of like the little tendencies a right back has, especially playing with Renato Ibarra because he's never played on the Renato Ibarra side this season. So
But
maybe
in the Copa he had.
right, but you know
It has been a while since the Copa.
it,
I
it has
I,
been
I
a
will say
little
that.
bit. So maybe there was a little bit chemistry issues there, but we're not knocking Jorge Sanchez though. I think he did the right back job decent or well enough to the extent where we can't criticize him or say he had a bad game.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think even only some people gave him more credit than he deserved. I will say that much. But um,
He's a
I guess
I like him. He's a
they
he's a good player.
no, I like him too. I feel like there was questions all around this team,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the only one that didn't have me questioning him was Marchesín.
Oh yeah, Marchesín, Marchesín. It was great to see him have those key saves. It kind of gave me I don't know, a bit of confidence going into this Liguilla
Yeah, you definitely want to see your keeper in beast mode before
and
you
beast
enter
mode. Yeah,
the big end of the season. But
yeah.
now I want to shift our focus to the main two players that I think
Uh-oh.
had a lot of people questioning whether or not America could make it far into the Liga even after this game. A player like Nico Castillo and Roger Martinez. Now I want to
Mm-hmm.
start with Nico because I feel like he was a player that yeah, he got a goal, but he looked way too desperate at times. He looked, yes, he looks hungry. I will say this, he looks hungry, but he looks desperate at all costs. Desperate. Um, I'm looking at him. He's running. He's chasing the ball. I think it's great, but at some point, I'm thinking, don't overexert yourself. You're gonna wear yourself out before the 70th minute. Um, and I don't know. There was just little nuances in his game that I felt like he's not there 100%. He wants to, but there's something in him not letting him be 100% the Nico Castillo. You look at the fact that there was a couple of free kick opportunities, and when the designated free kick taker Emmanuel Aguilera went up, he took the ball away from him. Now that's something that a lot of people, I don't know if I didn't really read this, but me personally, I feel like this is not something that should be looked upon as a good thing. A lot of people will say, but he's hungry, he's determined, he wants to be in these opportunities. Yes, I get that. Granted, he's shown us that he has the capability to score tremendous free kick goals. But if you look down the line, who has more free kick goals in this in the season? I would imagine Emmanuel Aguilera, right?
Uh,
Or they both tied at one.
I want to say both had a one, But that still doesn't, diminish the fact that you said that when there's a designated free kick taker, that's the one that should be taking it. You shouldn't be taking the ball away from that designated player. Now it could be one or two things. One, you're right. It could be for Nico to gain some confidence in scoring goals because we need him to do that, especially when the Liguilla is in a couple of days. So yeah, you want your striker to feel confident and score goals. But on the other hand, if Aguilera is the one proven to make these in, then why are you taking away that chance for your whole team? It's just, I don't know. At that point, you kind of have to think about the team first and then yourself second.
Yeah. Um. So he played kind of as a lone striker in this game because I felt like Roger Martinez was a bit of a cam or a center forward. I felt that he was dropping a bit too much at times, Roger. And then there was times where Nico Castillo ran all the way back to the defense to just chase down a ball. Again, another situation in which, don't get me wrong, I like the hustle, but there's got to be another player that needs to do that. You can't have Nico Castillo sprinting down the line to recover a ball, then having to run straight back up the pitch to try to get himself into the striker position.
You're right, and that player should have been, one Mateo Uribe, but with the form that he's having, you can't really rely on a player like that. So maybe he feels that like he needs to take it upon himself to, get balls because obviously he's not getting any.
Yeah, he looks like a
And
very frustrated striker.
that's a bad thing. You need someone to feed you the balls. I feel like players like Nico Castillo and Roger Martinez and maybe to some extent Henry Martin, those are players that, they need people. They need someone to feed them the ball so they can, excel and score the goals. But we just don't have that player. Maybe that has something to do with our strikers being so lackluster this season.
Yeah, definitely one thing to keep in question. Then you look at a player like Roger Martinez, who gets a goal, by the way, gets a fantastic first goal,
Mm-hmm.
has an opportunity to score a couple more. One of them was a good save by Jurado, um, but I feel like Roger should have stepped up a little bit more, just because he's such a physical presence. I know Nico
Yeah.
is too, but I feel like Roger just works his way around the defense very well when he has to kind of push and shove his way through.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't see enough of him.
Yeah.
Saw bits and pieces, and those bits and pieces were fine, but I want to see consistency along the way.
The same problem that all our strikers have is consistency. No striker, whether it be Roger, Nico, or Henry, none of them have consistency, and that is the problem. Yes, you get a goal. It's fine and dandy. You're playing Veracruz, okay, but we need more. We can't just rely on those little bits and pieces that carry us to a title. That's not how things work, unfortunately.
Nope, nope. And I know you saw that little message right now from Edgar
Oh yeah, I know.
saying
I definitely saw it, and
Menace can feed him.
but it's not up to us, unfortunately. If I were the coach, I would have put Menez in, try to find a place for him because honestly, he is a player that can feed you balls. We've seen it time and time again. No need to tell everyone what they already know, what everyone knows. It's just, I don't know. I feel something is a brewing, and it could be good for us. We just have to wait. But I'll talk about more of that when we get to the Cruz Azul.
Well, interesting enough. Quick shout out to Mr. Jeremy Menace and happy birthday to him as well. Happy
And
birthday to
Andres
him.
Ibargüen.
That's where I was going next. Happy birthday
Okay.
to him and Andres Ibargüen, who share a birthday, coincidentally enough. But
Didn't they come in
yeah,
the same window too?
they did come in the same
Right?
window.
They did,
Yeah,
right? It's pretty
look at
funny.
that.
That's pretty funny.
Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. But happy birthday to those two America players. May your guys' wishes come true. My guess is Menace wish for a plane ticket back to France, and
Or some
maybe just
PT.
or nah. I'm pretty sure he's worth. Yeah, he wants more
He wants
French
playing
time.
time. He wants playing
Yeah,
time.
we'll see. But yeah, definitely something to look out for. Anything else before we kind of just break uh break out of this game?
Yeah, I mean, this game was kind of, I don't know. It was. I wanted this game to be kind of like that confidence boost. I said it last week. This is the game where all of our players, go into this game, kind of dominate Veracruz in a way where you feel very confident whoever you play against. But unfortunately, no, that just wasn't the case. Very lackluster performance from everybody. Besides Marchesin, probably the only one that can save himself from this disaster. And this doesn't give us fans hope. We're always going to be confident for our team and and aspiring a title. But when you really really break down things, there's you kind of have to find a way to actually kind of defend this team. And I really wish this game kind of gave us more. Unfortunately, it didn't. Hopefully it was just like a like a I don't know, like a trick or something, like, oh look, Cruz Azul, look, we played this bad, so you might have a chance to beat us, but then we have something for you guys in the Liga. I don't know, something like that. I just wanted more. Unfortunately, we didn't get it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We'll definitely have to wait and see. I mean, I left with this game with more questions than answers, to be
I
honest.
mean, that's been the recent kind of mindset, or like the afterthoughts we've been having after every game. It's been like what, 4 games now that we've said that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But I think I just want to touch upon the second half just quickly and briefly as a whole. Veracruz obviously dominated. Came into the second half with something completely different changed in them. They went out there, they fought, and they could have easily have turned this game around. We could have been talking about a 4-2 result in favor of Veracruz. But
Hmm.
again, if it wasn't for Agustin Marchesin and his heroics, I think this was a different America game. And I think that was the most troublesome part of this was that Veracruz side, such a poor Veracruz side, was able to turn the game around and almost get a result against you. That's the most shocking part about this. Yes, I get it. You're away. Yes, I guess the pitch conditions were not the best. And I know that the weather wasn't in your favor. But still, for other teams to be able to walk out of that stadium in better shape and in better form than you says a lot of things. Veracruz, again, nothing to take away from them, but should have never have gotten those opportunities, should have never been able to have waken up. I would have rather seen America start the way that Veracruz started and put an end to the game right right away. Right away. Could you imagine if you scored another 2 goals within 15 minutes of the first half? I think that would have completely changed everything. Then you could have been lacklustrous. Then you could have been lazy. Then you could have played the safe game, but not until the point where you had enough goals to secure yourself and to secure the fact that the opposition was not going to find a way to come back at you. But
Yes.
unfortunately, America wasn't in the situation, and because of that, Veracruz exposed us and left a lot of questions whether or not this defense was ready for an even more tougher opposition.
Yeah, no, no, no. You said it perfectly. It's concerning. We sound like a broken record because we've been concerned for this team for a while now. It's just, you would think, with the capacity of this team, and the capacity that Miguel Herrera likes to think that he has. I'm trying to a little bit question if he still has it. Hopefully, he proves me wrong. This Liguilla, this is a team that should bounce back from a few rough matches here and there. But we've seen no improvement. The last real game I really saw this team play was the 3-0 against Tigres. After that, we haven't really seen much from this team, and it's a little bit worrisome. But hopefully they can turn it around Liga.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Well, that is it for the Veracruz game. Anything you want to add, Christian?
Yes, it was nice to see Peralta come back.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
you know what?
I
We'll touch upon that because I
I
feel like that's kind of very, very important.
the only thing is I don't want people to kind of overrate his performance. Yes, he came in with the look on his face that like he was hungry. You saw him running from wing, going to cam, and that beautiful pass to Nico Castillo, which he slotted in. But after that, though, honestly, I didn't really see much from him. I don't know if it was maybe a precaution to his injury. He didn't want to kind of overwork himself. I mean, he only did play 15 minutes. I mean, I don't know. After that assist, he kind of disappeared from me. I kind of want to see him take more shots, do a little bit, be a little bit more creative. But maybe it was just because he just came back. Obviously, I don't know why I'm putting so many high standards. Maybe that's just me, but I'd like to see a little bit more. He kind of disappeared right afterwards. So hopefully it was just because he just came back and not kind of like a foreshadow of what is to come for him or from him.
Yeah, definitely. I think Oribe Peralta comes in and gives the team a different face, a different look, and a bit of leadership up the pitch. Because as much as Marchesín has the captain armband, it's difficult, and I've said this on the podcast before plenty of time. It's difficult for a goalkeeper to be a good captain, and be an influence, all the way up on the pitch. I mean, can you imagine? You're so far away from your strikers, you know, so far away from your midfield at times that it's difficult. And I think someone like Oribe Peralta on the pitch really makes a difference.
Yeah, no, 100%. And you kind of know what Peralta brings to you. Yes, he may not finish like others, and yes, he misses sitters here and there. But if you want someone to run his butt off for the team and for no matter what situation, that is your guy. And someone like him can be very important in these like very crucial, intense situations that the Liguilla does bring you, especially in a Clásico against Cruz Azul. Peralta been there, done that. We need that type of leadership to be on the field, and I don't think he'll start, but when he is on the field, you're gonna feel his presence, and I think that's one positive we can take away from this game.
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely. Dylan, anything you want to add on, or are you still getting ready for your cameo?
Dude, I'm cleaning up my room, dude. I gotta move out. What you mean? I'm gonna be doing this the whole podcast.
Look at that. Comes back from a screening of Detective Pikachu and is ready to get himself moving out of the dorm and into the mansion.
Oh wow, the things you tell people.
They're all true. They're all true. Alrighty, well, that's pretty much it for the Veracruz game. I don't think there's anything else to be stated there. Um, we'll recall back to this game a couple of times when we talk about the Cruz Azul game, which is gonna be in a little bit. So get you guys ready for all of that. But beforehand, I think it's time for trivia. But without further ado, let's. I think it's fair enough to wrap up this Veracruz game. Correct?
Yeah, no. We talked
Uh,
about everything. Touched about everything.
awesome, perfect. Alrighty, well. With that said, let's move on into our next segment. It's everyone's favorite time of the day. It's not when we start talking, but it's trivia time, ladies and gentlemen. Get your answers ready. Get your questions in, Christian. Give these people what they've been waiting for.
Yes, sir. So we are, this is winding down. Hopefully, we get a couple more of these in the season. But it's winding down, obviously. So this is a good time for you guys to come in, hang out with us, answer these questions, get yourself some points for the prize. I think I'm gonna say something next week, 100%. I'm gonna have talk with them afterwards. It's about the prize, but you'll know the prize next week, 100%. If I don't announce a prize next week, I will pay every single one of you $20. Hold me to it. There will be a prize announced next week. I guarantee you that. I just need them. I just need their permission. But besides that, though, standings will be updated. Last week's answers and this week's answers will be updated for next week, so you'll have that ready to go. And today's trivia is just a simple yes or no. Let's see how well you know this team. The question is yes or no. Has America ever won the league when finishing fifth? That is
Wow, that
that
is
is
the question.
that is the question. So yeah, simple yes or no. You don't have to tell me if they have or if they haven't. Or if they have, you don't have to tell me if when it was. Just simple yes or simple no if they haven't. So yeah, that's the question, and thank you guys for playing.
Interesting question, nonetheless. I'm gonna say that it's all of the above. But that is just me. Whether
That
or not these people get this one right, it's up to them. But
mhm.
good one, good one. Dylan, what would your answer be?
Mm, I think I'll probably say yes. I don't know.
Interesting. Well, we also have Louis on the chat here. He wants you to rate Detective Pikachu for him.
Me?
Yeah, he says, Dylan, rate Detective Pikachu.
Oh, dude, that's a 0 out of 10.
What?
Oh, you're being that harsh on Ryan Reynolds?
Dude, okay, I love Ryan Reynolds, but every time I hear him, I just think Deadpool. I can't see him playing Pikachu.
You know what? This is very shocking. I don't know how the Pokemon company is going to take this after they just single handedly gave you a private screening of their movie, but I guess you'll deal with the repercussions later.
Oh, I don't know. It looks pretty fire though.
It does. Alrighty, you guys heard it here first from Dylan. Make sure you guys check out Detective Pikachu in theaters this Friday, May 10th. We are
I don't
not
think
in any
we're.
way
Yeah,
sponsored by
Yeah.
them.
yeah, we're not sponsored. Why are you giving out free sponsorship?
We're no way sponsored by them. But if Pokemon or if anyone would like to throw a little cash our way, we are more than welcome to come on to the next podcast in our Pikachu ears. Could you imagine? I mean, he's already yellow. I mean, it's perfect enough, right?
Yeah, honestly, he should be like our like the Eagle Eye podcast like mascot. It's like a little Pikachu like right here.
Little Pikachu with eagle wings.
Oof, beautiful.
I don't think that would work so well. But yeah, let's move on into our next segment now that we've got a little bit sidetracked to that. So America makes it into the Liguilla, fifth place position. Gentlemen, I just kind of want to take you guys' kind of perspective on this. How did you guys feel about America's finish in the table? Were you guys okay with it? Are you guys adequate, or do you guys think this is fair? Do you guys not like it? Just give me your 2 cents on in regards to America finishing fifth place in the league.
I think it was. I think it's fair. I don't think we've played the best that we can this season, and fifth place kind of seems like a true kind of like standard to what we showed this season. So I'm not happy with it, but I think it's a fair placing.
Dylan, if I'm not mistaken, you predicted fourth place for America at the beginning of the season, correct?
Yeah, I said top four.
You said top four, and now they've fallen short. And even your prediction, how does that make you feel, or at least how does it or at least how do you look at this team and justify this?
Wait, did I say top four? Or was that last season? Did I say top four?
I think you said top four for this season.
Are you sure? I could have sworn I said like top five or top six for some reason.
I don't know. We'll have to go back, but right now, just give me your overall
surprised.
thoughts.
Surprised, I'll tell you that much. The way we've been playing, shoot. We even dipped out of the top eight for a little bit, and I was like, man, I said this is gonna suck. I don't know what was gonna happen. I mean, it's miraculous that we get back to fifth. I mean, it happens, right? Like, I mean, stuff happens. The team did face adversity. I give them that. I think they overcame it. Sometimes they didn't overcome it enough in the season, though. But we're here. We're here where we're at now, and so surprised, but not necessarily content either.
All right, now my next question is: in all honesty, before we
In
get to
all
this Cruz
honesty,
Azul, in this Cruz Azul preview
I
game,
just gave you my all
it,
honesty.
in all honesty,
I just gave it to
can
you.
you guys see America being champions this
Ha!
Clausura?
Ha! Ha! I'm just gonna laugh that one off, Ivan. I'm just gonna be dead serious with the whole chat, with everybody that's gonna tune in. That's just a laugh, bro.
And that was just because that was my question. Is that in all seriousness, can you see this America side being champions? Okay, so Dylan has completely laughed it off and said no. Christian,
I can, but
It's hard to. Okay, it's
but
really
but
hard
but it's
to.
hard to. Yes, it's
It's
hard
really
to, but
hard to.
but if you really look at the little things that can go our way, it's I don't know. I can see us being champions if we fix these little mistakes that we have. Then we
The
can
little
be
mistakes that we were talking about since week one. And when have we fixed them? When have we fixed them? We've been talking about the same mistakes for over a year now. Yeah, okay, it is contradicting because yes, we did win a championship not too long ago, but all the other times, especially whenever we go back and look at the Conco champions against Toronto, the
yeah,
same mistakes, and so it just makes it hard because especially with the way things move with Benedetti, because that obviously sucks. I mean, the guy came in, he was playing. It looked like we were set on what we're gonna do for the rest of the season. Then he goes down, and then we go back to this 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, however you want to call it, whatever. And it's just not clicking. It's just not clicking. It's not going together, and it's just so hard to see it now because you don't have the players you need stepping up to really do that. And that's the hard part about it. You don't have those players stepping up. And I mean, yeah, I guess you can go back and make the excuse, injury stuff like that. But that's not a good enough excuse. I mean, we've always said it with America. We got to hold ourselves to a higher standard. And to be honest, I just don't see that higher standard there right now because it's just so hard to see it.
You're right. I like the point that you bring up. A couple players here and there need to be on form in order for this to really succeed and for us to be champions. But so you're basically saying so okay, Uribe steps up and Nico Castillo steps up. Can you see us being champions then?
Yes, yes. Like if I mean, damn, if Uribe wants to give us an assist and a goal against Cruz Azul Thursday, and Nico give us an assist or something, and then they turn it around and still do the same thing Sunday. If they can show me these two games and somehow make it to the next round, then I'll change my mind. But at the moment, it's just hard for me to see it. It really is, especially with the way we played against Veracruz and everything. Like it's just hard for me to see it at this moment.
I honestly think, just one last thing on the thing. I honestly think if we do advance this round, I have no doubt in my mind that we will be champions.
I just can't see it after the Veracruz game.
And that's
No.
understandable. I think that's you and a lot of the fan base. Because
I'm
I kind of made the point too. I saw this game as the confidence boost game, kind of like last season. We thrashed them 4-1, and that team just looked completely different. And then you go into Toluca, and then yeah, you get a tie, you get a draw in Toluca, but the team wasn't playing that bad. We kind of gave up a last minute goal, but it's whatever. He kind of had a moment of brilliance, but wasn't much to be of concern. Then we handled things in the Azteca, and then after that, we just kind of did our thing. We went on, we destroyed Pumas, and then and yeah, we did us. So it's I can see why people would say that that after seeing that Veracruz game, then people just don't see us being champions.
And that's the thing too, and you bring it up. Like you said, you go back to the past Liga. Obviously, it was a rough start. With that draw at the Luca, then you just kept going and going, and we stuck to us. We stuck to the game plan, but you don't see that this season, and that's the sucky part about it.
hmm I just yeah, it's hard. Honestly, it's hard, but. But I'm confident though that our star players and Renato Ibarra, Guido Rodriguez, Marchesin, and our defense for the most part, if they can click and things go our way for 80% of the game, this I don't think it's gonna be that bad as people paint it to see. But I do understand why people are having doubts right now. I don't blame them honestly.
Okay.
I will,
So
I
that
will,
was
I will gladly come back on this podcast, and if we walk out with that bicampeonato, I will gladly come back on this podcast and resign.
uh you got jokes, Dylan. You got jokes. Alrighty. So I mean, I just kind of wanted to put that out there and kind of give perspective as to how clear we are in regards to America and how kind of where we all stand, and because I think it's definitely gonna influence in how we preview this game, because it definitely showcases that we have different perspectives coming into this game. We have different thoughts and kind of different ideas as to what America needs to do to walk out of this in champion. So let's jump right into this. The first game is Thursday night. I believe it is at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 9 Central, 10 Eastern for you, Christian. And then the return leg is going to be Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 6 Central, 7 Eastern.
Yes.
Right? Did I get that right?
Yes, sir.
No.
Oh, nice. I
You're
didn't even
wrong.
have this on here.
Good
And
job.
the only positive I see this is we're home both games.
We're home both games. Just simple as that. We are home both games.
That's the only positive I see America walking out of this game, is that you're home both games. There's no reason for you to travel. There's no sense. There's nothing. And an added factor is, okay, you have Cruz Azul. This is a repeat of the final. Yes, they're gonna go out there for revenge. Yes, but you're also going out there to hold your own in a Clásico Joven, in front of your fans, in front of your stadium. I think this is possibly one of the best matchups America could have had in regards to the Liguilla. It isn't the easiest one, of course, but it is kind of one of the more better ones for America.
Um, uh, honestly,
Only because in the sense that you're home both games.
I understand that. It's just I don't know. Your Cruz Azul has been playing phenomenally. They haven't lost in 10 games. That's something to take in consideration. Their consistency in matches. It's there. We can't deny that. Um, I don't. I don't know.
It's
This is
good.
it's a good matchup, yes, but it's not the favorite matchup. I think I honestly would have been. I would have given America a straight 100 win if it were someone against like Tigres. Honestly, if we would have played Tigres, I would have been 100% America goes through next round.
Tigres, what
Yeah,
Tigres?
America has Tigres' number, honestly.
I
And Tigres just
I
came
don't
off
know.
a terrible loss in CONCACAF Champions League against their arch rival. They're down. They're down.
I think that gives them more of a reason to be pumped up for the league, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, the Tigres is not our opponent. Cruz Azul, let's focus on them before we go on a tangent here on Tigres. I'm looking at their numbers. Yes, no doubt about it. They're winning and they're scoring. They got goals in them, but I mean, they drew against us at home in a game where I think either side could have walked away with that victory if it wasn't for the referees' calls. Um, but I mean, they drew against Veracruz, and we walked away with a victory. I mean, if that's something that can kind of catapult
No,
us. Their last game
no.
against Morelia was a draw. So, I mean,
They're yeah, but they're still there. They honestly they've been playing better soccer than us. That's true, and no one can
yep,
deny that. I'm not a Cruz Azul fan, obviously, but I'm just stating facts. They have been playing better than us. Honestly, you know what it comes down to, and I'm gonna say it right now. For anyone that looks at Cruz Azul and America, the mentality of the players is gonna be probably the biggest factor. Yeah, you can talk tactics here and there, but when it comes to mentality, I think America one-ups Cruz Azul, and
really?
and I think Cruz Azul fans know that. Obviously, they
I don't think
they're
so.
still
At this point right now, I don't
they're
trust
still
America's players.
they're still hungover on 2013, the final. They just lost another final against. They cannot beat us in the Liga. It showed that has to have some toll on them and the players.
Nah, I don't think in this one. I don't
I don't
think.
really
I
think
think
so either.
I think Cruz Azul players come in this more confident, more boosted up than America. I see a lot of players with their heads down right at this point. I see a Mateo Zuribe with their head down. I see a
Right.
Roger Martinez and Nico Castillo who look confused most of the time. I
Mhm.
look at a Piojo
But
who
but
sometimes is trouble to even move his
right,
pieces on his
right.
chessboard.
But they understand the importance of a clásico
They
and the
do.
importance of Liguilla.
And I think Cruz Azul knows it more because they fell very short after a very good season.
Right, but
And
we do
now that they're
too.
picking it up, yeah, but now that they're picking things up, their point is this game's not gonna be easy to play it out on the pitch, whether you're tactically speaking or mentality wise. I think Cruz Azul has the edge on us, most definitely. Doesn't mean that they're favorites, maybe a little bit, but does that mean that they automatically are gonna win or that they have the better chances to? I don't think so. I think both teams are very level at this point. If you look at, I think this is something we mentioned when we previewed the game against Cruz Azul is talent wise. Yes, we have a much better and a more vast, squad than Cruz Azul does at this point. But are our players there at the moment? No, but can they show up for the Liguilla? Yes, I think they can. Will they? That's a question that they have to answer for themselves, and that's
Right,
the most troublesome part.
right. But Liguilla is a whole different like kind of
Yeah,
tournament. It's a whole different season, kind of in a way.
whole
It's
different feel.
no one cares about what you did in the league anymore. It's all about Liguilla. So I mean, I don't know. Just for me and my personal opinion, I think America one ups them on the squad because you just said it. We have a better squad than them, and on the mentality aspect of it, and that's where I feel America can come can come to can come together and defeat Cruz Azul because of those two main things. They
Yeah,
know how to play Liguilla. They
You
know
good, Christian?
they know what it is. They know. Yeah, I'm not good, honestly. You guys are messing me up, to be honest.
Okay, well, let's focus on the game in both games too. And this is so difficult for us to do when it
And
comes
this
to
is
Liguilla time.
no, but this is why I didn't really when you said this was the kind of like our favorable matchup because it really isn't. That's why I said I would have much rather prefer a Tigres or a Monterrey because it would have been so much easier to talk about them.
Look, I'm looking at this and it's gonna be it's difficult because the second game is so hard to preview because really it
It
goes
all
on
depends
to
on
what it depends on the first game, but we're
yes.
being very hypothetical when it comes to the second match. But I think we're gonna do our best here and try to I guess be a little bit loose with it and try to um, get something right in the predictions. But let's focus on the first game because I think the first game is the most important part. One, because America is quote unquote the first home match for this game, and then of
Yes.
course the second one is quote unquote in away. The only thing that matters at that point is the away rule, goal situation, and whatnot. So
Which, mhm.
let's break down because I think that first game is very crucial for America, and I need them. I need them to walk away with a victory on Thursday. It's a must, and it's a necessary must for them to walk away with a victory.
It's a must, but it's going to be very hard to get.
How many times have we said a victory is a must?
And
And
so last season in the final we drew the first game. Last season during the regular season we drew. In the final we drew. This season we drew. I don't know. You're saying must win, and I agree with you. It is a must win, but is it gonna happen though? That's what I'm not too sure about.
And let's talk about what America needs to do in order to make it happen. So I think it's fair to say that Edson Alvarez is not going to make it. I think you just confirmed that
Confirmed. It's
with
confirmed.
yeah,
yeah, he's not making it to Thursday. So now you have to slot in Mateus Uribe there. There's no question as to whether or not Ibargüen's going to play because he's got to play on the left hand side. You're going to see the same repeated lineup. Paul Aguilar is going to be back, so you're going to see George Sanchez on the left. So your predicted lineup isn't so much predicted anymore as confirmed. The only question is who's going to play at the top. And Christian, give me your predicted lineup, I guess, at this point.
Sure. So you have Marchesín in net, Paul Aguilar, Bruno Valdez, Emmanuel Aguilera, Jorge Sanchez, Guido Rodriguez, Mateus Uribe, Renato Ibarra on one side, Ibargüen on the other side. And now this is where I have the problem because I had Nico Castillo, yes, but who's gonna play behind him or beside him is something I still don't know because this is where I feel Piojo has something up his sleeve. Now he can't put Roger Martinez because that's kind of the obvious choice that he's been playing with Roger Martinez, so that's the obvious choice. But who's to say he might slot in a Cordova there?
I don't think so. I think he's going.
I don't think so either.
Obvious choice.
I don't think so. He'll go for Roger Martinez, but I don't know. So something just tells me he has something up his sleeve that he doesn't want any team to know yet. And whether it be Cordova there or maybe a surprise, maybe Peralta starts for some reason. I don't know. So I'm having trouble, but I'll just say Roger just because it seems like the most logical one. So I'll have Roger and Nico up top.
Okay, and that's kind of the same team that came out to play against Veracruz.
Yes, just take out Carlos Vargas and put in
Paul Aguilar.
And take out Edson. So it's not really the same thing, honestly.
It's two players, and for the most part, that team kind of played for a full 90 minutes, just with the exception of Vargas. So let's say Piojo comes out with this because I think that's the more favorable option.
Mm-hmm.
America needs to start off the way they've been starting off some of these games and get that early goal. But again, don't let off. If you have Cruz Azul against the ropes, if you have them, if you catch them off guard, don't settle in. Do not give them the opportunity to come back into this game the way you did against Veracruz, the way you've done. I can scroll through the whole season and give you plenty of examples as to points in where America could have easily have kept the pressure going, and the game would have been a completely different game. Now, it's not going to be easy, but Cruz Azul is not an easy team to score against. We know about it. We've seen it. And really, I need to see a lot of creativity from our forwards. I need to see a lot of good runs. I need both Nico and Roger to bully the defense, completely bully that defense through force spaces to be open, play the wall, play the kind of receive the ball in, let your wingers play off of you. I need more from them. I need more from the attacking opposition. That is either Nico, Henry, Oribe, Roger, whoever it is. I need to see more from them. I need determination from them. That's the most important part. I need determination from these players. Um, Tactically speaking, you need to hold that midfield. You need to hold that midfield at all costs. And the only worrisome part is Mateus Uribe is going to be playing alongside Guido Rodriguez. Granted, we saw some of the best football of Mateus alongside Guido, but if he doesn't show it up and if he gives Cruz Azul just an inch more of that midfield, it could be costly.
Mm-hmm.
I need more from you, Ivan.
What more? What more could you need from me, Dylan? What more could you need from me?
The more you know.
When we were talking in the beginning of the season, we saw America play and they were playing really really well. And Ivan, you mentioned one standout player in the attack, winning everything, outrunning opponents, passing the ball very well. Who was that player?
Rotibara?
Renato Ibarra. That's the player that needs to be the game changer, in my opinion. If Renato Ibarra can have stellar performances throughout 90 minutes, I think the America attack will see improvements. Let's be honest, Renato Ibarra hasn't been Renato Ibarra these past couple of games. Yes, he's there. Yes, he's still running past opponents and dribbling, but he's not doing it on a consistent basis. He gets the ball, he looks to pass more often instead of dribbling opponents. When I don't like to see that, when we know his capabilities is to run past defenders, dribble past defenders, and kind of give hopefully a decent cross, because that's one of his, in my opinion, that's one of his leaky things, if you may. He doesn't know how to cross yet, but once he gets past, he kind of has a clear vision of the attack. So Renato Ibarra for me needs to be the game changer.
Yeah, I need to see more clinical aspects from him, and I need to see better passing. Really, some of the
But that's
passing
on the
has
whole
just
team,
been
though.
so poor.
That's on
Yeah,
the whole team.
and that's, I mean, especially sometimes our wingers, both Ibarra and Ibargüen, they their touch is either too heavy, their pass is too soft. I need to see more consistency from them in
And
that
just
sense.
more precise and specific passes. Oftentimes, I just see both of them just kind of just cross it in just cause they don't really know if anyone's there. They're just you know what, I have a spot, I have a space. Let me just cross it in. You got to be more precise, especially in a game like this, a game at inches with one counter attack on Cruz Azul, and the game is over. And you can't really afford that at this stage of the season. So more precise, be more specific, and play smart. Honestly, we just need to start playing smarter. And I promise you, this whole team will see improvements once we get the basics down. Honestly, because we seem to forget that.
Yep.
You wouldn't do the
Definitely.
same thing, Christian?
Do what?
Just cross the ball randomly, not even be efficient with it. Just
Well, no, that's not me. No, I would not do that.
okay. I was just wondering.
Okay, well,
No, but it goes back to the logical thing that we've said time and time again on this podcast: is play the simple game, play the smart game, and you'll see that you'll come out on top.
mhm.
Right?
I think you've been the most illogical out of being Christian.
How?
I don't know. I just remember that one week you were like, "Oh, Ortega's gonna start this game." And me and Christian were like, "What?"
Oh yeah. Oh man, that was bad.
That's all you
But
guys did. So
hey, you know what? America proved me wrong. I said they were going to lose against Veracruz, and I'm glad they did. And it could be the beginning of them proving me
they
wrong.
didn't. They
What do you
didn't.
mean?
They didn't lose against Veracruz.
Yeah, they didn't. I said they were gonna lose, and they proved me wrong.
Oh, never mind. Okay, so yeah, that's that, and hopefully they prove us wrong this Liguilla. But I guess it's game by game, so we gotta really show a strong performance in the first leg, and hopefully that momentum carries us through the second leg, because it's not going to be easy, and we're going to have a lot of sweaty palms and sweaty foreheads throughout these 180 minutes. And
And I think it's just rinse and repeat. If you have a good game against Cruz Azul on Thursday, it's literally rinse and repeat and have the same game on Sunday, right? Because now we're
right.
moving on to the Sunday territory, and regardless of what where you're at, it's really just keep playing your game. If you have a lead and if you have an advantage, then continue and don't be lazy about it, and don't be don't get confident. If you walk into that game with a goal up and you have an advantage over Cruz Azul, that shouldn't mean that you can sit back and relax, you know?
I just think that's gonna be the key part, honestly. And I guess it all goes back to the mentality thing I was talking about earlier. We get the first goal of the game. You have to know that Cruz Azul's gonna be flustered. They're gonna start getting a little bit of flashbacks, like, oh my god, is this really gonna happen again? Are we really not gonna be able to beat them again in the Liguilla match? You're gonna have to use that to your advantage when going forward. You can't sit here and tell me that Cruz Azul players are not thinking that if they go down 1-0.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's a mental aspect of it, like you said. It's a
and
mental aspect of
and you
all things.
can't
It's
and you
triggering.
exactly. How would you guys feel if you play this one team consistently, and obviously they always beat you, and then you're like, oh my god, here we go again, they scored again the first goal. So you're gonna feel a little bit, you're gonna feel that pressure, you're gonna feel that kind of tension, and it's gonna play a part. And American players need to know that if they score that first goal, then they have to flood open the gate. They have to keep going in attack, because this team is done for. Cruz Azul is done for if America scores first, and that will most likely carry us through the next round. And we just need to put into effect. We could talk all we want. We could sit here and talk 2 more hours about this, but what is it if we can't do it on the pitch?
Yeah, I think that's the most important part is the players need to go out there and prove themselves. Thursday's an important part. Get on the right step, and then Sunday continue and repeat it, and don't really be complacent about it. And go out there, don't get overconfident. I think you know what you're playing for. Yeah, the pressure is there. The institution has said it. The Bicampeonato is a priority. So go out there and showcase that you're playing for it,
Yeah, 100%.
Alrighty. Well, we won't delay this any further. And let me hear you guys' preview for Thursday. Dylan, what's your preview? Your predicted scoreline for Thursday.
I'm gonna go 1-1.
1-1. All right, Christian.
2-1.
2-1. Oh, excuse me.
2-1 to who, Christian?
America.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
I'm going. I'm going 2-0 America on Thursday.
Wow,
Well,
that'll be ideal. I would kiss you. I would fly out to Cali just to kiss you. If that happens.
I'm worried now.
Oh man, that would be so ideal for us. Not only because we get the win, but that's 2 away goals. That's 2 away goals for us heading into the second leg.
No,
that's two home goals.
That's 2 home goals. See, this is why we can't play in the same team, because I'm getting all confused.
That's 2 home goals.
That's 2 home goals.
But still, that's 2
But
goals.
it's still 2 goals, and heading into 1 goal over there. Then now they need 4. So there you go.
All right, off your guys' prediction and off what you think America would do if that prediction goes through. How do you guys see the second leg, Dylan?
Sorry. I'm gonna have to say 1-0
For America or Cruz Azul?
for America.
Okay.
2-1 again.
2-1 again. Damn, that's a
Again.
4-2 scoreline.
Yes.
And I'm going 1-1 on Sunday.
I was waiting for Ivan to pull something bold again, like 4-0 or something.
Oh no. The way America's been played, I think all the boldness went out the window already. We're out of boldness for the rest of the season.
I just feel Herrera has something up his sleeve, and we're gonna witness it on Thursday. I don't know. Hopefully, he's done crazy stuff before, right?
Christian's got me sweaty like Mr. Krabs in that one episode of SpongeBob.
Yep.
I'm telling you, man. I don't know. I feel something.
More nervous than I should be.
Yeah,
More nervous than I should be.
Well, this
Alrighty, well,
kind of Liguilla pressures. We already know this.
yeah. So people are coming in with some of the predictions. Chicken Little saying 2-1. Ramon saying 1-0. shout out to Ramon, who was our guest last week. If you guys haven't read his article, make sure you guys do. We tweeted about it. Louis going 1-1, Edgar going 2-1, America, Chicken Little then saying 1-0 in the second leg, and then Louis going 3-1 in the second leg
Down for this
for
down 3 1 second. Like I am so down for that.
America. So a lot
I will
of
come kiss you if that happens.
hey, Christian's just giving kisses left, right, and center. Does
Yes,
I hope his girlfriend knows about this.
no,
Um
she doesn't.
Well, I think that does it. I think all we can do now is just wait for Thursday to come and see whether or not America can walk away with said results. Obviously, a lot will be questioned, but hopefully, America gives us more answers than anything. Finally, when we need them at the most. So make sure you guys do follow us on Twitter at Eagle Eye Podcast and on Instagram as well. Most especially Twitter, as we will be live tweeting everything on Thursday and Sunday. We'll be keeping you guys up to date with any news in regards to injuries, roster squad updates, and starting 11s as they come out. We're gonna have you guys covered with as much news as possible for the Liguilla and these two games against Cruz Azul in the Clásico Joven. Not to forget that it's also a Clásico at the end of the day. So a lot riding on the line. Not just a ticket into the semifinal for America, but also an opportunity to yet again claim themselves victorious over a heated rival that has been Cruz Azul, and hopefully things can go well for America. Now, we'll be doing as much as we can to give you guys a little bit more kind of a preview come Friday, Saturday. We'll be tweeting a couple of things in on our minds here and there, seeing as how it's probably difficult to get a podcast out and have you guys out at the have you guys listen to it within the busy weekend and everything. But we will do our best, and then of course Tuesday come back over here. We'll have everything broken down for you guys, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be talking about a semifinal rival in the mix. So, gentlemen, without further ado, anything else you want to add on into this preview of the quarterfinals of the Liga?
Man, I can't keep talking about this, man. I'm gonna give myself, I don't know, a panic attack or something. Just
Anxiety attack.
yeah, anxiety attack. Just be confident in our boys. Yes, we haven't been playing well, but if there's something that we do know how to do is win classicals, and especially when they really count. And this one counts. So, I'm confident that our boys will show up with something. I'm almost certain that it'll have something up for us, obviously for us. We gotta wait to have everything unveiled. So I'm confident. I think we can get past this one and make it to the semifinal.
Yeah, definitely. Dylan, anything else you want to add on?
No, I think we covered it all. I think I said everything that's on my mind.
Okay, most definitely. So yeah, we're looking at this game in hopes that America shows up and gets all their chips correctly, all their pieces right on the chessboard and everything, and hopefully it means an advance into the next round. Now, before we end the podcast, before we sign off, we do want to give a shout out to our ladies who unfortunately did not advance to the final, but it does have to be said that they made it all the way to the semifinal. Unfortunately, lost against Tigres, but sometimes football does you dirty like that. And unfortunately, the ladies just did not show up for that game, and kind of were a little bit embarrassed at home through a 3-1 result. I think it's 5-1 in total, if I'm not mistaken, in the global marcador. And yeah, I mean, shout out to you ladies. You guys had a performance, a pretty good season. I think there's a couple of things that need to be fixed out there. Uh, Chicken Little saying quite yet out, but no, I think the ladies definitely need to go and look at themselves in the mirror, give themselves a pat on the back, but definitely look at themselves and say, what can we do better? How can we come back stronger? And I have no doubt that these ladies can definitely come and do that. Obviously, a couple of big injuries throughout the season, lost a couple of key players, but still were able to play as a team and get so far. Definitely should be said something about these ladies. We're behind you guys. And as always, don't forget, whenever the new season starts, to tweet out hashtag Lady Aguilas. Gentlemen, anything you want to say to these ladies if for whatever reason they're listening to us?
I'm proud of you more than Ivan is.
Okay.
Well, I would have expected more from the guy who kind of covered them the whole season, but I guess that'll do. But no,
Well,
yeah, I think
Ivan goes on the whole time and doesn't let nobody talk until the end. Like, gentlemen, anything you want to add on? Like, okay, like just steal the whole show.
That's what I do.
But I have to agree with Dylan there. Ivan did kind of say everything I wanted to say. Just thank you guys for a great season. You guys didn't really disappoint much. But it was fun to cover you guys while we can. Hopefully next season we get a little bit more of you guys. And I just know you guys will come back stronger, especially, all the returning players coming back from injury. This team can make a run again next season. Just watch.
Okay. I definitely. Well, ladies, we're with you till the end, and unfortunately, this is the end of the road for the Clausura. But that doesn't mean that something wonderful isn't on the horizon. Now, Carlos Diaz has definitely put us on the spot here, saying, "When's the next watch party?"
And I put you on the spot.
That is, and parties at Ivan's. Hey, I am more than welcome. I'm more than happy to host all you Americanistas that are close by to come down to my house if America makes the final. You guys heard it here. I'm more than happy to host all of you guys. Come over. We'll have a carne asada. We'll eat. We'll drink, and we'll watch the America game. So,
drink. Is that what you care about? Is drinking?
I never said alcoholic. I said I was thinking like Coke. Since we're sponsored by them still.
I was thinking Capri Sun, but I mean.
But we'll leave it at that. But yes, watch parties. We're thinking about it. Where it's a little bit difficult right now with the Liguilla thing going on, but we want to have a couple of set dates for the upcoming season. So we'll keep you guys updated at that. And Carlos Serna just said, "Ya dijiste," and Carlos Diaz said, "I'm there." So America, if you do make the final, I'm more than happy to host all of you guys. So come on down.
Can I come?
It should be a great one. Everyone's invited. Everyone and their mama. Let's go. It's yeah, we all fit here.
My mom doesn't like you, so how would that work?
Oh man, Mama Rosendo, if you are listening to this, what have I done to get on your bad side?
I'm just playing.
No, but definitely we'll keep you guys out posted, and I said it, I will commit to it. If America makes the final, everyone's more than welcome to join me here at my house. So if if you guys are listening to this and are willing to make the drive or are in the area, just know if America makes the final, you're all more than welcome to be here. So without further ado, Dylan, anything else you want to add on before we close out the show?
Don't forget to unfollow Ivan on Twitter. He got over 300 followers and he's let it get to his head. So, bring him back down to earth, guys. Come on now.
That says the one that has more followers than me.
I never let it get to my head. I just retweet a lot of movie stuff and sports stuff and the occasional sad tweet.
Says the man who just literally got handed a screener to put Detective Pikachu.
Hey, it's not my fault that people love me more than y'all do.
That's kind of true. Chicken Nugget saying, "Dylan, give me a ride on your horse."
Oh, I don't even have a horse. We're being stereotypical here.
I mean, you do have a Mustang.
I mean, you're not wrong either.
Exactly. All right, Christian, anything else before we sign off?
Nah, man, just thank you for having me again. And, it's my favorite time of the week.
Alrighty, keep your guys' positive hats on for America on Thursday. Make sure you guys get your pre-ritual games, your pre-ritual things going before the game. I personally like to go to Wawa Grill. And then if you guys don't know what Wawa Grill is, just look it up, I guess. And get myself my pre-ritual game going. And well, hopefully that's going to be more than enough to get America into the next round. And again, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram. Make sure you guys do have us on SoundCloud, iTunes, and or Spotify. Have us on the go for whatever reason. We will be having a Eagle Eye Podcast Gold Cup edition, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Just wanted to give you guys that bit of announcement so you guys know that you guys can always carry us on the go and have something to listen to. And then, of course, we'll be ready for when America, plays their next game, which is hopefully in the upcoming next week. Anything
Yes.
else? Nope.
Covered it.
Alrighty then. With that said, thank you to everyone who made it out tonight. Carlos Diaz, Chicken Chicken Nugget. We're missing Chicken Biscuit yet again. It looks like the Chicken Holy Trinity has been failing us. But to Edgar, to Louis, to Diego, to Ramon, to everyone that is out here. And if I missed you for whatever reason, I am so sorry. But thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for being a part of the chat. Thank you so much for listening to us week in and week out. Alrighty, gentlemen, without further ado, thank you so much for making it out here and being, again, amazing co-host.
You're welcome.
I get paid
See?
today, so I'm good.
Oh, all right. Is that why you were in a happy mood?
Oh, you guys want to know the reason why?
Well, that's up to you to disclose that.
I mean, it's because Barcelona lost today. That's why.
Oh,
So that always brings a smile to my face when they get obliterated in Champions League like that. It's pretty funny to me.
well, I can't comment because I'm a Manchester United fan, so there's no way I can celebrate that victory.
Oof.
Even though Dylan out here doing controversial tweets.
What? It was a good game.
He said what?
It was a good game.
It was a great game.
It was a good game, but still, shouldn't. It's our main rival, man. It's our main rival. Come on.
Our main rival, City.
No, it's not. It's Liverpool. History-wise, it's Liverpool.
I thought our main
Yeah,
rival
not
was
wrong.
Chivas.
Yes, Liverpool is the Chivas of Manchester United.
Oof. So there you guys
And
have
think
it.
of
Ivan and Dylan are Man U fans. Yes, you guys can go make fun of them. Go ahead,
Yes.
please.
Now is the time to make fun of us. All right, but without further ado, we're not gonna keep you guys any further. Have you guys yourselves a wonderful night. Have you guys a wonderful week. We'll see you guys come next week. America, do things right. Don't let us down, and give us a reason to smile during the weekend. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy yourselves. Have a wonderful Mother's Day weekend, and hopefully America gives your mom the perfect present, and that's a ticket into the semifinal. All right, without further ado, this has been the Eagle Eye Podcast, episode 70. See you guys very, very soon. Until next time, and as always, arriba.